This is Call of Duty, but it's medieval. Instead of boring modern weapons like assault rifles, shotguns, and snipers, players have bows, swords, and battle axes. You have to fight against other players to get the most kills, and try not to die to unlock your class's ultimate attack to absolutely destroy your opponent. And after reading a few of your comments, I get a feeling that you guys want me to update the game. This game has come into Steam, and the update is going to be so big. Pause. Using some of your ideas, I made a to-do list and got straight to work on the most important task first: a new map. The game only has one map right now, which is the village, and obviously that is completely unacceptable, intolerable, insufferable, like seriously, I am actually surprised that no one complained that there is only one map. But that brings up the question, what other kind of map is medieval except for a village? The only one I could think of is a castle, so I decided it's time to make a castle map. Little did I know, something was about to go terribly wrong. It's been a little while since I've worked on this game, so I forgot where I put it. I then proceeded to open my game, and instead of working on the actual map first, I made a drop down for the host to choose between the maps. I like to call this planning ahead and not procrastination. Definitely not. After that, I opened up a Blender. What the fuck, autocorrect? I'm talking about the 3D modeling software. I sound like such a nerd. In Blender, I made some castle walls to surround the map. I then made the main part of the map, which is the big, thick, girthy castle right in the middle of the map. I'd like to assure you that I totally didn't just copy a model online by someone with actual artistic talent and make a worse version of it. Of course not. I originally wanted to add some terrain like hills to the castle map to give it some more life, or actually, I don't know why. Anyways, I made some hills, but I should really be saying that I tried to make hills because they were actually so terrible. I began to get jealous of myself for being able to make such good looking hills for the village map because now I was really struggling. But all that pain and suffering turned into much more pain and suffering when I realized that the entire village map was now ruined. When I was trying to add terrain to the castle map, I had no idea that it would delete the terrain in the village map. This meant that I had to remake all of the hills in the village map, and I was just struggling to make hills a few minutes ago. Why do I make games? After I painfully remade all of the hills in the village map, I realized that I didn't even want hills in the castle map and I just wasted a bunch of time. What the fuck? So I got rid of the stupid hills and instead added a random tower that I made in like 5 minutes. And the players can now use these vertically oriented, sequentially arranged set of rigid, parallel, and longitudinally extended components composed of wood designed to facilitate upward or downward traversal between distinct elevations or levels by the utilization of alternating threads and risers, thereby providing a structured means of vertical conveyance. After adding some nature, I then began to work on everyone's favorite part of the castle, the interior. The idea was to have 2 floors. The first floor would be a classic dining room for a big medieval feast where everyone can hang out around the table and eat a big meal. And the second floor would be a futuristic alien torture chamber with laser blasters, jetpacks, ray guns, and time traveling machines. That's perfect for the second floor of a medieval castle, right? I even hired a professional second floor rheologist to give his opinion on my idea, so let's check it out.
Hi, as a second floor rheologist, I'm honestly offended at the idea of using a f***ing medieval alien torture chamber room at the second floor of a castle. I mean, look at here. Look at all these random assortment of objects. You can see here, I'm a huge professional. I think it's more like a king bedroom would be more fitting than the stupid fucking retarded
Alright, geez, well never mind. Apparently, the professional thinks a boring bedroom for the second floor of the castle is better than my idea, so I spent the next few hours making models for the interior of the castle, and when I wanted to go check out how the models looked in the stupid bedroom, I couldn't even go up the stairs. You can't have shit in medieval Call of Duty, can you? To fix this weird stair issue, I had to do the unthinkable. I had to remove this spiral staircase and add a straight one. Obviously, spiral staircases are better than straight ones, but I had to remove it because there were issues with the colliders. Awesome, now we can go into the bedroom. I still think my idea was better. By the way, if you need any 3D models for your games, then I can make you some. Just check the link in the description. Wow, look at that, the castle map. It was a bit of a pain to make, but it isn't over yet, because I know the rest of this update is not going to be easy to make at all. The game currently has 6 medieval classes: Knight, Archer, Heavy, Wizard, Spearman, and Assassin. But now, it's time to add some more. It was hard for me to come up with some more class ideas, so I asked one of my good friends Gilbert to see if he can come up with any. He sent me a document with some class ideas. I hope they're good. Let's check them out. Class ideas for a medieval game, haha, XOX. Okay man, you're a little extra with that. Anyways, let's see what it came up with. Area 51 Alien, left click does 49.9 fart damage. Poops on the opponent. Alright Gilbert, you gotta be trolling. No way I would add that into my game. What's the other ones? Jeffrey Dahmer? Okay, what the fuck man, I wanted some serious ideas here. Jesus. Swordmaster. Okay. So that's a guy with a katana. That's a good idea. And a guy with a crossbow? Okay, yeah, that's cool. I'll make those last two. So with these great ideas that my friend Gilbert sent me, I got to work on a sword master, which is the guy with the katana. After making a katana model in Blender, I made some epic gamer animations in Unity, and now the sword master is finished. Wow, that made it sound ridiculously easy. Anyways, the Swordmaster's primary is a katana slash, his secondary is a katana thrust which deals more damage than a normal slash, and his ultimate is a barrage of super quick attacks. So now that the Swordmaster class is done, I began to make the Arbalist, which is the guy with the crossbow. But before I went to make it, I realized that I actually had no idea how a medieval crossbow works. And since my game is obviously very realistic, I watched a very convenient tutorial on YouTube about how one works. After that, I was able to make an identical one-to-one recreation of the crossbow and put it into my game. The Arbalist ultimate is a regular crossbow shot, and you have to pull the string all the way back before shooting because I'm pretty sure that's how a crossbow works, right? The Arbalist's ultimate is a rapid-fire crossbow, and it may or may not be a little overpowered. Great, now there's a new map and 2 new classes. Let's see, what am I gonna add next? It need ragdoll exclamation point 11x. That would be dope, but the Unity ragdoll requires that you have a mesh with all the bones, and my meshes don't even have arms. Huh. Yeah, I was able to add a ragdoll into the game when the player dies, and it was easier than I thought. The ragdoll itself isn't great, but ragdoll always better than no ragdoll. In case there are no players online, I thought that it would be a good feature to have bots in a game so you could play against AI. I also realized that they were going to be a big pain in the ass and very difficult to make, but I felt like they were necessary. So I took a deep breath and faced my fears. It was a big struggle for me to even get the bot to properly chase the closest player, but after a very long time, I was able to get the bots up and running with absolutely no problems whatsoever. Just close your eyes and there's no problems. I was eventually able to get something decent working, and the bots fighting each other kind of reminds me of the game Tabs, except one is made by a high schooler and the other is made by people with actual experience. But now, if there are no players online or if you have no friends, then I'm glad to introduce to you Beep Boop and Bop Beep. Look, I'm out here developing friends for you. You gotta just rate the video 5 stars. Alright guys, watch this trick shot real quick. Chat, oh my god, chat, clip that, chat. Speaking of chats, there is no way to communicate with the other players in the game right now. So I set up a text chat box in the corner, and you can now press slash to start typing your awesome, loving, wholesome messages out to the other players. Please be nice. I then attempted to make a chat for the lobby, and needless to say, there were some slight problems. It was a lot more difficult to make a chat for the lobby because when they're in the lobby, they're not actually connected to each other. Instead, each player is connected to a server that updates once per second. Because of that, I couldn't make the chat the same way as the one in-game, and obviously, trying to get around this issue was proving to be difficult. In the end though, I was able to get the chat for the lobby kinda sorta working. There are still some weird bugs with it, but hey, I'm already going insane, so cut me some slack. This game is almost perfect. I would play this for a long time. And I was thinking you could add lore to every character like TF2. Lore? So basically, you want me to come up with something interesting to say about each character. Well, since I'm not very creative, I asked my good friend Gilbert again to see if he can come up with some interesting backstories for each character. So let's see what he came up with. Haha, thanks for letting me make lore XO. Okay, let's see what kind of lore he came up with. Knight. He is 25 years old and was born 25 years ago. Oh my god, Gilbert, you're an idiot. Before he was 25, he was 24. Okay, Gilbert, that's it. I'm not asking you for anything from now on. So obviously, my friend Gilbert wasn't any good at this whole lore thing, meaning I had to come up with a backstory for each class myself. When I was finally done pushing my brain and my creativity to their limits, I made a menu that displays the lore of each character, along with their attacks so players can easily see what each class in the game does. A very unexpected bug in the game was that you were able to do parkour. I mean, it's kind of fun, but it can get really ridiculous at times, so I had to fix it. Like, how does that even happen? Anyway, I was able to fix this by clamping the player's up movement speed, so when the player is moving up really fast like in this clip, the code will simply reduce the player's speed on the y-axis. After fixing that bug, the game is now 100% bug-free and you don't ever have to worry about any bug ever happening again. Don't quote me on that. I've gotten a few suggestions to put this game on Steam, so when I signed up for a developer account on Steam, I was then asked to pay a $100 fee. $100? That's like 100. So I cracked open my piggy bank and gave Steam my entire life savings just to put my game on their platform. Please just rate the video 5 stars, please, I'm begging you, please. Do you want to be in one of my new games? Well, I'm happy to announce that you can now add your own Easter eggs into my new games, and you can even get my personal one-on-one coaching for YouTube content creation, video editing, game development, and 3D modeling. You can also watch these videos early like someone in the comments of this video did, and you can get exclusive voting and sneak peeks of games before they release, along with a lot more, starting at literally the cheapest price I could possibly put it at. Check out the link in the description now to get all those benefits. Play the game for free on Steam or itch.io and click the video on screen right now. Thanks for watching.